A Shattered Silence, The Murder of Mary Ann Nichols. Contextual opening. It was a quiet autumn night in London on September 30th, 1888, when Mary Ann Nichols roamed the streets of Whitechapel. The East End was often overshadowed by poverty and despair, and the air was thick with the smell of coal smoke and sewage. The fog curled around the gas lamps, casting eerie shadows, as women like Mary, known as Polly to her friends, navigated their world with resilience and grace. A mother of 5, she had recently faced a series of misfortunes. Her husband, unable to cope with their financial struggles, had deserted her, leaving her to fend off a life of poverty alone. Nichols was no stranger to the streets, having worked as a prostitute to survive. Her life was a tapestry woven with hardship, yet she walked with a certain resolve, desperately searching for comfort in a city that was grimly unwelcoming. As the clock struck midnight, Mary stumbled onto a lost opportunity in the dark alleys of Whitechapel, her spirit still flickering amidst the pervasive gloom. Gradual revelation. In the days leading up to her death, Mary showed signs of vulnerability. She had been drinking and seemed distraught after a failed attempt to secure a roof over her head. Local law enforcement had turned a blind eye to the plight of women like her, treating them not as victims but rather as expendables in a city rife with crime. Whispered rumors hinted at a more sinister presence in Whitechapel, a figure lurking in the shadows, preying upon vulnerable women with chilling intent. Hours before her demise, Mary was seen talking to a man near the corner of Bucks Row. Witnesses later reported hearing her laughter, a fleeting moment of joy that starkly contrasted with the tragedy that would soon unfold. Her story, however, was about to take a blood-curdling turn for the worse. Criminal act. At 3:40 a.m. on September 30th, Mary Ann Nichols was discovered by a cart driver named Charles Cross. She was lying on the ground, her throat brutally slashed, and her abdomen mutilated. The gruesome scene was a haunting reflection of the brutality that had taken place just moments before her body was found. The murder was horrifyingly methodical, prompting immediate fears that a serial killer was on the loose. The police arrived swiftly, but by then, the perpetrator had vanished into the night, leaving behind only a gruesome reminder of the fragility of life. The press caught wind of the murder, and it was not long before the entire nation was captivated, or rather horrified, by the gruesome narrative unfolding in the streets of London. Investigation and consequences. The investigation into Mary Ann's murder was led by Inspector Frederick Aberline of Scotland Yard. The authorities quickly realized they were dealing with a highly organized and intelligent killer. For days, police combed the streets of Whitechapel for leads, interviewing locals and sex workers, all while conducting a far-reaching manhunt. As more women turned up murdered in the days and weeks to follow under similar circumstances, a pattern began to emerge, igniting widespread panic and hysteria. Public outcry grew, and the press clamored for answers. The killer was dubbed Jack the Ripper, a name that would become synonymous with terror and violence. The public's fascination soon morphed into a frenzied obsession, inundating the police with tips and amateur theories, yet the killer remained elusive. Despite multiple inquiries and the gathering of a multitude of potential suspects, none could be definitively linked to the crime. An array of witness statements was often contradictory, muddying the waters further. The investigation illuminated the systemic failures of society, the poor treatment of women, the inadequacies of the police force, and the abject poverty that pulled so many into dangerous circumstances. The murder of Mary Ann Nichols. Reflective resolution. Contextual opening. The murders attributed to Jack the Ripper profoundly affected London, and particularly the East End communities. They highlighted the staggering social issues of the time, particularly the vulnerability of women in a patriarchal society that offered little support. The sensation surrounding the case sparked an immediate push for social reform, revealing how systemic issues contributed to individual tragedies. Mary Ann Nichols was not merely a victim in a series of gruesome murders. She represented the countless women whose struggles were often ignored in the shadow of societal indifference. Though Jack the Ripper was never caught, the legacy of those lost, including Mary's, would resonate through the ages, serving as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the urgency for compassion in the face of human suffering. Over a century later, searching
The
for
case of
comfort
Mary
in a
Ann
city
Nichols
that was
and the Ripper
grimly
murders
unwelcoming.
echoes in
As the
discussions
clock
of
struck
criminal justice
midnight,
and social
Mary
reform.
stumbled onto a
The
lost
specter of
opportunity
this
in the
unknown
dark
killer
alleys of
continues to
Whitechapel,
loom
her
large in the
spirit still
collective memory,
flickering amidst the
sparking
pervasive
curiosity and horror,
gradual
yet also
revelation.
fostering a deeper
In the days
understanding
leading
of
up
the
to her
societal
death,
structures
Mary showed
that lead
signs
to
of
such tragedies.
vulnerability. She had
In the
been
quest for
drinking and
justice,
seemed distraught
Mary's
after a
story
failed
serves
attempt
not
to
only
secure
as a
a roof
chilling
over her
account
head.
of crime,
Local
but as
law
a
enforcement
poignant
had turned a
reflection on
blind
the
eye to
lives
the
that
plight
once
of women
flourished
like
amid
her,
the fog of
treating them
despair.
not as